Thank you both for your time and for your service, and more importantly, for the service of all the men and women in uniform that you represent in your commands. Admiral Locklear, do you believe that China's increasing aggression in the South China Sea reflects their calculations that the U.S. lacks the willpower and capability to challenge them in the South China Sea?
Well, you'd have to ask the Chinese if that's the way they feel about it. My guess is that they, as they always do, I believe, they listen carefully to how the U.S. feels about things globally as well as in that region. And where they have a clear understanding of U.S. position, they have a tendency to understand it and respect it.
Do you think the balance of power is shifting to the point where they believe that they now have a military advantage over us in their regional waters inside the first island chain?
I don't think they have a military advantage over us, because they also recognize that we're a global power and that they're not a global power. I think that they believe that their ability to build and produce the military they have has provided additional decision space for them in their local region.
One point you mentioned is the importance of clarity. Deterrence works best whenever the lines we draw are clear and strongly enforced. I've read press reports recently that during Prime Minister Abe's visit to Washington later this month, the United States may make an explicit pledge to protect the Senkaku Islands, which are currently under administrative control of Japan, but China also claims them. Do you think that would be a wise step to take for the purposes of stability in the East Asian theater?
Well, my understanding is we have pretty much made it clear our position in the East China Sea as it relates to the Senkaku Islands. We still maintain we don't take a side on territorial disputes, so in the long run, the issue of the sovereignty of Senkakus is for them to figure out. But what we have said, and it's been said at numerous levels, is that the Senkaku Islands do fall within the administrative control of Japan and do fall within the Mutual Defense Treaty with Japan. And I believe that that alone has provided a level of stability to the issues in the East China Sea, Northeast Asia.
The press reports, I appreciate and understand and agree with the points you've made. The press reports I've seen have suggested that we would be reducing that to writing, though, and writing in these matters, I think, can provide some more clarity than words. Could you comment briefly on your military-to-military relations with Thailand at the time?
Well, we maintain military-to-military contact with Thailand. We do it at a lower level, post-coup or post-coup. We were on a very good glide slope, a very positive glide slope. I think prior to the coup, the opportunities that we were pursuing together were quite good for the region. Thailand is our oldest ally. In the end, it's my expectation that we want to keep Thailand. We love the Thai people, that we're close to the American people, and we have similar value systems. And so it's important for that. But post-coup, we have truncated a number of military activities, reduced them in scope, and we're managing those through an interagency process where we go through and decide, is this one that we want to continue or not? What we're hopeful for is that the current leadership in Thailand will move actively and aggressively to restore, rule of law, constitutional processes, and civilian control of government.
Thank you. And General Scaparrotti, Korea is in many ways a unique area of operations in the world, calling for some unique capabilities. I want to speak briefly about cluster munitions. Our stated policy is, as of January 1, 2019, we will no longer use such munitions that have a greater than 1% unexploded rate. Can you describe the effect this policy will have on current operations and contingency planning, and also maybe the challenges it will face achieving that rate?
Yes, sir. The cluster munitions are an important part of the munition inventory that I have. Because of the effect that they create for me. There are plans right now, work being done for replacement munition that would meet the requirements of less than 1% dud rate, but that's a requirement that we must meet, as you said, before 2019. We would use other munitions, but the munitions that we have available just simply don't provide the effect of those that I have today in my inventory.
Okay. Gentlemen, thank you both again for your service and the service of all those you represent and your families and theirs.